Hey, LDWMMAC, salute to the WMMA universe. This is your boy, the Coach, live on the Coach's Show live. Being right is sometimes difficult when you're constantly right against people that just keep telling you that you don't know what you're talking about. Guys, before this fight had even went down, I told y'all that Juliana Pena was in a no-win situation. I told you this. I've said this over and over and over. And, some people say, man, you just mad because Kayla beat Juliana. Well, nah, I'm not that. I already predicted Kayla to beat Juliana. So, you guys got to miss me with that. I predicted Kayla to win the fight. Okay? I point blank made 2 or 3 videos saying that Juliana Pena is in and was in a no-win situation. There was no way that she could win this fight. It just wasn't. Like, things would have had to align perfectly for Juliana Pena to win this fight. I mean, there would have had to been no error or fault in her game plan for her to win this fight. And that's, folks, that just wasn't in the cards dealt for Juliana Pena. There's a huge skill set differential that Juliana Pena lacks to have a fight of perfect magnitude. Guys, I told y'all, I pointed out to y'all, Juliana Pena was fighting 4 entities. The first entity that she was fighting an opponent who significantly outweighed her by about 30 pounds, easily. And if we want to go on the small scale, the minimum scale, 15 pounds. Okay, but between 15 and 30 pounds, her opponent outweighed her. Her opponent was bigger, her opponent was faster. But moreover, the bigger and faster, the faster probably wouldn't have made much of a difference. Okay? Small difference. But because Juliana Pena, she's dealt with faster opponents before. The thing of it is, Kayla Harrison had a significant size advantage over Juliana Pena. You can't deny that. You can't overlook that. You can look at this photograph right here, right now, and you can see just how much of a size advantage that Kayla Harrison had. Okay? That's just what it is. Okay, like it, don't like it. I'm not saying that Kayla Harrison didn't go in and perform well and execute that Kimura perfectly. No, I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that she had a significant size and strength advantage over Juliana Pena. Why? Because Kayla Harrison fights 2 weight classes above Juliana Pena. And I'm trying to get you guys to understand that. No, and if you follow my channel, no, I'm not a fan of Kayla Harrison. I've never been, but I've always been a straight shooter. I've always been a straight shooter when it comes to these fights. Even if I don't like a fighter, I particularly don't care for him very much, I will come on here and tell you the truth about them and what they do. Okay? I don't really play the game. I can analyze a fight, I can break down a fight, and I can be subjectively, unbiased when it comes to the fight. But I don't like Kayla Harrison. I don't like her. And these are the reasons why. She's been a consummate weight bully her whole career. She's been a weight bully. Kayla has a history. She used to, when she was in the PFL, bring these bantamweights up to fight her. She had a history of that. She had a history of bringing these bantamweights up to fight her. And if you don't believe me, okay, go back and look at some of the opponents that she's faced in the PFL. Go back and take a look at them and take a look at their histories. Do you know that most of the opponents that she faced in the PFL, the majority of them, they got pulled up from a lower weight class? How you going to explain that? But folks, what I'm telling y'all, okay, is that Juliana Pena was in a no-win situation. That's the first point that Juliana Pena, why she couldn't win this fight. The second point was the referee. And folks, I don't care. Yes, the up kicks were illegal. Absolutely. Okay, you had me on that. The up kicks were illegal. But folks, come on. Most referees, they try to give you a warning. Okay, most referees will give you a warning. Do you guys remember the fight between Jermaine Durandame and Holly Holm? Did you see how many times Jermaine actually hit Holly Holm after the buzzer? Y'all see that? The referee didn't take a point. There are moreover many fights where you had John Jones, clearly oblique kicking people trying to throw their knees out of socket. Okay, eye pokes. You have eye pokes. You have Conor McGregor with the eye pokes. Okay, and John Jones, the referee, they'll kind of give you a warning on that. Up kick, sometimes the referee will stand you up and he'll say, hey, no point there. And he'll give you a stern warning, hey, if you do it again. Those are not some of the worst up kicks I've ever seen to hit somebody illegally. Those and moreover, okay, I've seen worse than that. I've seen up kicks a whole lot worse than that took people out. I've seen that. The up kicks to me were not that bad. And it wasn't bad enough to take a point. I don't think so. Okay? Wasn't bad enough for her to take a point. And yes, did Juliana Pena know that the knee was down? I don't think she did. I think she was in the heat of the fight. She was in the heat of battle. And she's trying to, get an advantage in the heat of battle. It happens. It happens. Fighters do it all the time. It's not something that I felt like Juliana was ill intent. She was like intentionally trying to throw illegal up kicks. No. Okay, I don't know if any of y'all have been in an octagon or a boxing ring, but sometimes you go into instinctive mode. You have to be a fighter to understand this. I mean, Kayla Harrison wasn't really crying about the up kicks. She wasn't crying about the up kicks. Like, if you're a fighter, instinctively sometimes you go into that mode where you got to survive. Okay? That's point number 2. Point number 3, Juliana Pena she had to fight Dana White. I keep telling y'all this. Dana White point blank out of his mouth said, listen, I don't want to see a Nunes trilogy. I don't want that. I want to see Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes. That is the fight to make next. He said it. Dana White out of his mouth said, I do not want a trilogy between Juliana. And Juliana, she's a bit delusional right now. She's delusional. She would say, hey, I got dibs on the winner. No, you don't, Juliana. You don't have dibs on the winner. You're not going to be fighting the winner. You will not be fighting the winner. I don't know how you figured that you're going to be doing that, but you will not be doing that. Juliana, it's pretty much fair to say that your title run might be over. Okay? And a lot of it is politics, and some of it is just pretty much what Dana White wants. And Dana White isn't willing. It's just not going to happen. I don't think Juliana Pena getting any more title shots. I think she's done. That's the 3rd point. Okay, the next point were the officials. Did you guys really think that these officials, these judges, do you think that they were going to let Juliana Pena leave with the belt? The referee and the officials that worked together, I told y'all the referee was going to be a part of this fight. I told y'all this. When I made my first initial videos, I said, watch that referee. The referee is going to be a firm part of this video. And most of the time, the referee, they don't even take points from the champion. They don't even take points. They give them a stern warning. They give you a stern warning. And some referees will give you 2 or 3. But I just thought that I thought they should have gave her a stern warning. I don't think that what she did warranted a point deduction. I don't think it should have. Okay? Yes, it was illegal. Sure, it was illegal. But folks, you got to look at this game, okay? There's a lot of illegal stuff going on that don't get called, okay? But I told y'all, I said any little thing that Juliana Pena does in this fight, any little thing, anything that Juliana does, it's going to be called out by that referee. That referee's going to get it. That referee is coming for Juliana Pena's neck, and that's what he did. Okay, point number 4, I talked to y'all about the judges. I'm sorry. Juliana Pena was already down 2 rounds after round 1. She was already down 2 rounds after round 1. It's just, that's what it was. Okay, the judges scored cards. It don't matter if the fight was close. Those judges, they had already had in their mind, and they were going to have that fight for Kayla Harrison. Had it went the distance and it been close, Kayla Harrison would have got the belt anyway. It's just what it is. And then point number 5. Okay? Point number 5 that people just want to ignore. Yes, Juliana Pena talked to Ganga. Boy, she talking. She's always talked to Ganga-ish. She's always done that. Okay? However, we can't ignore facts. Yes, many of you don't like Juliana Pena. You wanted Juliana Pena to get her ass whooped. And yes, she got her ass whooped. Okay? You got no argument there from me. She got her ass whooped. But point number 5, this ain't a young, fresh flower in Juliana Pena. This Juliana Pena been brutalized, okay? See, Kayla Harrison beat Juliana Pena. Amanda Nunes beat the shit out of Juliana Pena. There's a difference. Yes, you Kayla Harrison fans are saying, well, she finished Juliana faster than Amanda did. Okay. But what version of Juliana did Kayla Harrison fight? Come on, y'all. This is Juliana Pena that got dropped, I don't know how many times against Nunes. I'm talking about beat to a bloody pulp. This is Juliana Pena that got choked out by Jermaine Durandame. This is Juliana Pena that got put in the armbar by Valentina Shevchenko. Okay? This is Juliana Pena that got dropped twice by Rocky Pennington due to the Amanda Nunes damage. Okay? There's no coming back from that. Amanda Nunes probably took 3 more years off Juliana Pena's career. Guaranteed. She took 3 years off of that girl's career. It's not the same Juliana Pena. I don't care what you folks say or how you slice it, how you dice it. She's not the same fighter, okay? She's a fighter that definitely got a lot of wear and tear. She's been in war. She's been in battles, okay? That number 5 is the most crucial one. It's just too many things going at Juliana for her to even had a chance to win the fight. And I knew all of this. After the Nunes fight, when she fought Rocky Pennington, I said to myself, she's never going to be the same fighter. She's never going to be the same fighter. Like, she's never going to be the same. And after that Rocky Pennington fight, I already knew that this is not Juliana Pena. It's not the old Juliana. Yeah, this Juliana Pena didn't even, you remember Juliana was used to putting pressure on people and mauling them. She didn't want to get nowhere near Kayla. And moreover, she wouldn't even throw strikes, y'all. She wouldn't throw any strikes. And I'm like, okay, so now Juliana Pena can't pull the trigger. Nah. And Juliana's like, I got dibs on the winner. No, you don't. Okay? And y'all know me. When somebody lose their income, y'all know I'm not on here. I'm never on here saying I told you so. I'm picking on them. I don't do that, y'all. I don't pick on people that lose their income. I don't do it. But I knew that this was inevitable, okay? I knew it was inevitable. I knew that Juliana, she was just in a no-win situation. It just wasn't going to happen. Juliana Pena would have had to have no errors or flaws in her form. There would have had to been no error or flaw in her technique in order for her to do this. And I'm sorry. Skill-wise, technically-wise, Juliana Pena is a good fighter, but she's not very technical. Okay? She's skillful in wrestling, yes. Okay, but, the lateral movement, all of that stuff, when I watch Kayla Harrison and I watch Juliana Pena, it's just Kayla Harrison moves so much better. She moves the lateral movement, okay? She can cover more distance than Juliana Pena. Juliana Pena was flat-footed. There was just so many things going against Juliana Pena in this fight. It was so many that it was damn near impossible for her to win this fight. Now, it's MMA. Things happen. Things do happen. But there would have been a very, very small percent chance that Juliana Pena could have pulled this off. And it was a small percent, like a 5% chance that she could have pulled it off. But Juliana Pena would have had to have been absolutely perfect. It's not me hating on Kayla. Trust me, I got enough videos for that. I'm just telling y'all what is, okay? Kayla Harrison came down from 2 weight classes to fight the 135-pound champion. Kayla Harrison was the 155-pound champion, okay? Fact, Kayla Harrison left the PFL. Okay, did not face Cyborg. I'm sorry. And as long as that is lingering, it don't matter. It don't really matter. As long as that's lingering, she got business. She still got Cyborg problems. Kayla Harrison still got Pacheco problems. And moreover, folks, how many times do y'all think Kayla is going to be able to make this 135-pound limit? I'm telling y'all. I'm telling you again. And I'm speaking as Coach Stradamus, okay? Kayla Harrison will lose these belts on the scale.